Welcome in Theos Protean. Welcome in Rugmat. Welcome in Steffi 128. Welcome in Darwin. Welcome in Rugmatpit.
Hello, friends. Could you stop putting clowns on my stream? Get out of here with your clowns. I don't want them.
Welcome in Karen.
Hello, Kara. Hello, Rugmat. Hello, Rugmat's bot.
Bad Cop _
Hello, Protein. Hello, Bad Cop and Steffi. You're all very welcome. No clowns. Oh, this is horrible. No, what is this? Get out of the. No. I should have this on like speed command. That was what my missing command was. I need a key. Yes, I need on my stream deck a background random. That's what I need. Yeah, exactly. Hold on. Twitch chat message. Here we go. Account Maddie Two Shoes. Background happy. There we go. I'm gonna call it anti-clown. There we go. Anti-clown. Pick myself a little nice icon here. Chat message. What do we got here? This works. Yeah. This is better. Okay, anti-clown. Boom. Oh yeah, perfect. Perfect. Now I can just do it whenever I want. See? I can change the background on cue. It's almost like it's my stream again. It's almost like it's my stream. No. Get out of here with your clowns. No. I was looking right at it. Oh, I was looking right at it that time. No clowns. Okay, are we gonna do this for 90 minutes? Is that what you want today? You don't want Data Cafe? You just want 90 minutes of trying to change the background to a clown? Also, I do think Pexel's API has a override. limit of some kind. Anyway, welcome in everyone. I hope that you have had a lovely weekend. We're doing something a little bit... Yeah, raid limit, thank you. We're doing something a little bit different today. While we do have a Data Cafe episode, we are doing a speed round. We're doing a speed round. This entire stream is going to be 90 minutes or less. That's right. 90 minutes or less. And we have to cover everything. To cover everything in 90 minutes. So we're not gonna waste any time. 90 minutes. Yeah, we're not gonna waste any time. AI and TikTok. This is just 90 minutes. But you'll be happy to know if you checked your Twitch app since this morning, as in European time zone, like sometime in the last 8 hours, you may have seen a story from me with my schedule for this week, and you may have seen that there is an additional stream on Thursday. That's right. Not Thursday evening, but Thursday, 4 p.m. CEST. Bonus stream. Let yourself be surprised.
Garbage.
Let yourself be surprised about what it is going to be. There's two options. So I don't even know what it's going to be yet, for sure. There's two options. It will be one of the two options. But yes, there's a bonus stream on Thursday. So 4 p.m. CEST. What is that in? It's 4 hours.
Welcome in Dai
Four. I'm doing math. Normally we start at 8. And this is now at 16. That's 4. Yeah, it's 4 hours. It's 4 hours earlier than normal. Okay, this background doesn't work very well for this text. Excuse me. Let's go back to pink. So it's normally we start at 8. Now we're starting at... This is minus 4 hours. Yes, minus 4 hours earlier. For you, if you put it in the... I have not put it in the Twitch schedule because Twitch's scheduler for one-off streams is garbage. It's so bad. Also, hi, Dio. It's so bad. It's so bad. Anyway, you'll be there. I'm sure you'll figure it out. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Hi, Ian. Welcome into you. See, I have this little AI voice welcoming you all in for the first time now. I don't need to do it anymore. Technically, I don't need to say hello to any of you now. Look, I can do it. I can just have it completely automated. I can just let you talk to my AI. Let's do it. Hold on. Who are we gonna take out? Rugmat. Perfect. Take out Rugmat. Take out Steffi. Look.
Garbage.
It's just AI. Where's the high sign? We don't have a high sign. What high sign are you talking about? Don't know what you're talking about, Rugmat.
Welcome in Rugmat.
See? Hello, AI. Okay, so 90 minutes. Yeah, the light bright is not on stream, to say the least. It's not on stream. Okay, so here we go. Let's start things off, as usual, with the meme of the day.
Put my faith in data.
Yeah.
Information.
You be angry, it's fine.
Ones and zeros never lie.
You can be angry if you want. So, Data Cafe speed news round means that we only get 90 minutes to cover all of the news. I will keep an eye on the time. It'll be my job to make sure that we get it through all the news, through all the articles, through all the discussions. But as usual, I have some good stuff for you this week. Some very interesting things are happening in the data space. So, without further ado, I don't understand this meme. You already lost 11 minutes. No. You're now wasting 5 seconds by making me comment on that. Who's the real loser here, Padawan? Should ask yourself that question. And yes, today's drop game target is 99.78 points or above, meaning you have a statistically best chance of winning that you've ever had. Look at this. Look at this. See? You can all land. if you just try harder, okay? Just try harder, chat, okay? I can't help it that you're so horrible at playing this game. It's just not my fault.
Stream Elements.
Hello, Stream Elements. See? There you go. Ian tried.
Welcome in, Steffi 128.
Hello, Steffi. Welcome in. See, if you drop the clown, that's not trying hard enough. I don't understand this meme. Probably it's because I'm not a programmer. So I figured I would include it today to tell you that I'm stupid when it comes to this. Like, I simply don't understand the meme. All of you who are developers, programmers, do you understand the meme? Because this one has... I don't get it. Like, I understand the whole going over your head, you know, when a joke goes over your head thing. But why is this one going through? That doesn't make sense for me. Yeah, anyway. Let's kick things off with a story that you've probably all seen. The meme is saying algos... Hold on a second. The meme is saying algos and data structures go way over your head, but you understand the memes. So is this the am I the opposite to this meme now? Because I understand algorithm data structures and database management systems, but not this meme? Am I now the opposite of this meme? Did I just become the meme? Okay, I see. The common programmer doesn't know DSA, but laughs at any programming meme. I have become the anti-meme. I am the anti-meme. Perfect, wonderful. Okay, let's get started with a company that you all probably admire and don't think that they could do any evil whatsoever. Apple. Apple has been proven, it has been proven without a doubt, that they have trained AI models on content from YouTube without consent. From YouTubers such as MKBHD, who is not a small YouTube channel, I have to remind you. A number of tech giants, including Apple, trained AI models on YouTube videos without the consent of the creators. They did this by using subtitle files downloaded by a third party from more than 170,000 videos. Surprise, surprise, no one is actually surprised by this. However, creators include Marquise Brownlee, MKBHD, MrBeast, PewDiePie, Stephen Colbert, John Oliver, and Jimmy Kimmel. So basically, with the exception of one person, all white males, which is very bad. And it is bad that people are not surprised anymore. Yeah, it's not a good thing. The subtitle files are transcripts of the video, content, but of course subtitles can't convey all meaning from a video. Otherwise we wouldn't make videos anymore. We would just have... Would we just have subtitle files floating around the internet? I don't know. An investigation by Proof News found some of the wealthiest AI companies in the world have used material from thousands of YouTube videos to train AI. Companies did so despite YouTube's rules against harvesting materials from the platform without permission. Our investigation found that subtitles from 173,536 YouTube videos, siphoned from more than 48,000 channels, were used by Silicon Valley heavyweights, including Anthropic, Nvidia, Apple, and Salesforce. Just subtitles read by the TikTok voice. And now, this video will be in your feed. I hate it. It's horrible. The downloads were reportedly performed by a non-profit called Eleuther AI, which says it helps developers train AI models. Great. That sounds fun. There is a response video that we should probably listen to from MKBHD.
So there's a story that came out today, and the headline was that Apple trained AI models on YouTube content without consent, including MKBHD videos. There's no statement from Apple on this yet, but here's my take. The real story is Apple and a whole bunch of other tech companies are training their AI models using data that they buy from third-party data scraping companies, some of which get their data in slightly illegal ways. So one of them pulled tons of transcript data from thousands of YouTube videos, including Mr. Beast videos and my videos and many more. So that company is a problem, and that's gonna be an ongoing, evolving problem for many years. And also Apple can technically say they're not at fault for this, but they're gonna keep getting data from companies like this, so that's also something they need to vet. But the double whammy is I actually pay for more accurate manual transcriptions on every video that we put out so that people who are hearing impaired don't have auto captions, which suck. So that means the stolen transcriptions specifically are paid content that's being stolen more than once.
So this is an interesting thing, in particular, about Marquis' channel, is that not only was his content stolen.
Welcome in Marty Popses.
My captions only caption you, not your desktop audio. That's right. That's right, Rugmat. The captions only caption me, yes. Would there be a way to do that? Yeah, there might be. There might be a way to do that, Rugmat. There might be a way to change that. I'd have to look into that. Anyway, the point is that yes, I could just push the closed captions button. The irony about that we're talking about closed captions, right, is Marquis was explaining that not only were his captions from his videos stolen, which is his content, they actually pay for manual captioning because the auto captions from YouTube are so-so. So it's kind of been stolen twice in the sense that it's being stolen. It's just stolen. Anyway, so that's not great. But I would like to talk to you about furries. I can't believe I'm saying this. And Disney. Next. Bearing in mind that we only have 90 minutes to cover all the articles today. I knew some of you would wake up in chat. I knew it. I knew some of you would wake up. The title is A Furry Hacktivist Group Has Breached Disney, Leaked 1.1 terabytes of data, and says it's because Club Penguin shut down. So we need to maybe roll back a few steps. Obviously, most of you know Disney. I'm not sure all of you are familiar with furries, but we'll get into that. So Disney has had a huge leak of employee and company information. The hackers are claiming that one of its software managers was a victim of a Trojan horse malware attack. Apparently, sorry, it wasn't terabytes, it's tebibytes.
Welcome in Duzdev.
Hey, JD Does Dev. What is a tebibyte? I'm sorry. What is a tebibyte? Is this like a Teletubby thing? Should I... Are they being pedantic? Are they being pedantic because a tebibyte is 1024 gigabytes? Oh my gosh, it's basically a terabyte. Whatever. This is basically the same thing. Okay. Anyway, 1.1 tebibytes of data has been leaked online, including personal information and details of unannounced products, including video games. The hackers say they're furries and cite the shutdown of Club Penguin in March 2017 as justification. So I think you need to be very careful now, because do not go onto Google and search for the name of this hacktivist group, because you will not enjoy it. For someone obsessed with data, the difference between Tebi and Terra should matter more. It's in the context of this, JD, it is very inconsequential.
Garbage.
Yes. Have you been doing clip maintenance, by the way, JD? Have you been doing clip maintenance? Let's find out.
If he thought that I was the best streamer on Twitch and that
if he thought.
Huh. Is that like... What? Is that a clip of you actually losing connection? That's pretty hilarious.
And that's a story that happened between us that I'm never going to tell again.
Oh,
I'm glad that those of
I
you
see.
who were here to hear it. I'm going to get rid of the VOD immediately after. And, you know, I haven't walked
That...
the same since then.
That is the most blatant use of a fake disconnect that I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of blatant use of fake disconnects, JD. Anyway, so don't Google this term, okay? But the hacktivist group is called Nullbulge. Now they are a group that describes themselves as a hacktivist group protecting artists' rights and ensuring fair compensation for their work. It's also very NSFW, so we're not going to this website. The group lists a bunch of things that it says makes a target fair game. This include crypto promotion, AI artwork, any form of theft, and generally anything to do with creator compensation. Now, of course, Disney is great because Disney is smack in the middle of all the AI stuff, for sure. Smack in the middle. And, you know, their whole thing about the SAG Afra strike, like there's just so much that you could unpack there, which we're not going to. Now, Nullbulge says, our hacks are not those of malice, but those to punish those caught stealing. Big and small theft meet the same fate. Big talk, but it has been, yeah, it's been backed up by a lot of data that they've actually stolen from Disney. So for example, almost 10,000 channels, I don't know what channels mean, every message and file possible dumped, unreleased projects, raw images and code, some logins, links to internal API/web pages, and more. Have fun sifting through it. There's a lot there, perfect for gathering intelligence and more. So, what is... Oh, Slack channels. Oh, I see. Yeah. Bet they never imagined taking down Club Penguin servers would cost this much shite. So here's the thing. Club Penguin. Let me tell you a little bit about Club Penguin because obviously for context you kind of need to understand. Club Penguin was a very, very popular, massively multiplayer online game. MMO in like 2005, 2017. We're talking really old school internet here. Most of you are probably vaguely familiar. The game had a kind of Second Life kind of vibe to it. It's like virtual world, which had like activities and little mini games in them and stuff. Now, the criticism about Club Penguin was that it was specifically designed for children, ages 6 to 14, but any user could sign up. So a major thing of the developers was having a lot of child safety features, like ultimate safe chat and lots of filtering, blah, blah, blah. But there were a lot of things that Club Penguin was, let's say, accused of. I don't know if there's anything definite. Concerns about safety and behavior still arose within the media. I think there were just... I don't know if it was anything serious ever. But anyway, so Club Penguin was about this. And a lot of people were very upset when they shut it down. Hi, Marcy. So, obviously some employee made a mistake at Disney. This is why this leak happened. This is where hacktivism gets a bit queasy. We can talk all day about Disney as a corporate or cultural entity, its role in the media landscape, what it does well and what it does terribly, and what it should be held to account for. Disney's influence and size make it a target for such groups, but when the crosshairs start falling on the lives of individuals who happen to work at Disney, who in almost all cases will be nowhere near executive level, it rather invalidates any wider ethical point the hacktivist group wishes to make. This is the problem. This employee who was targeted was basically a mod packaged up for a game, and they downloaded this mod about like vehicle physics and stuff like that. It's a game like that. It's called BeamMG, and it was downloaded by a Disney manager on their personal computer, which had access to Disney's Slack channels. Once the hacking group was in, it had a second hack on the same employee via unknown method, we don't know, and began downloading everything it could. So the Disney employee eventually noticed and managed to block further access, but only after all the above data had been stolen. So not a great result. Not a great result. So this is not the first time that Disney has been hacked, by the way. Disney Plus user data was hacked several years ago. Disney Plus is Disney's streaming service. But this is something on a completely different scale. And of course, for company employees, their personal data might be out there, which is not great. Really not great. So that's something to consider when these things are happening. You may think, oh, great, you know, take down the big corporations, down with them, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is that a lot of people who work at these companies are going to suffer. And they're just doing their jobs, right? They're just trying to feed their families, provide for them and their families. They're not really thinking about necessarily what these big corporations are doing. So it's worth a debate. It's worth a debate whether it's fair. Anyway, and ironically, or funnily enough, this is also not the first time that a hacktivist group has claimed to be a furry. So last year, there was a self-described gay furry hackers group that breached one of the biggest nuclear labs in the US and demanded that it start researching IRL catgirls. So that's now 2 furry groups that have hacked in the last couple of years. Anyway, that is the news about a furry hacktivist group. And I know you didn't expect to hear the words furry hacktivist and Disney on my stream, but there you go. That's something that happened. All right. So let's move on to another breach, which is a breach of a different kind. So this breach is more vulnerability, exposing data. And it's called SA-pwned, or SAP. It's a clever pun, of course, about SAP AI vulnerabilities. Are any of you SAP customers? Just FYI. Is anyone here an SAP customer? Should I be concerned? Should you be concerned? I am when I buy maple syrup. Wait, what? You're an SAP customer when you buy maple syrup. No, not SAP. Not SAP, as in SAP, the company. So the question is, does AI have an isolation problem? The Wiz research team have been conducting extensive isolation research on multiple AI service providers over the past couple months. And a lot of these services, they have shown to be vulnerable to so-called tenant isolation, because they allow users to run AI models and applications, which is like executing code. They do not make, they don't make maple syrup. What does
powerful reason for insisting on Intel Inside?
SAP is a leading global enterprise software company known for its ERP, enterprise resource planning solutions. Yeah, big company makes big software. So specifically, they have been researching SAP AI Core by executing legitimate
Welcome
AI
in
training
Singularity.
procedures. Hello, Finite. Welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. Let's get a little shout out clip for Finite Singularity. Also, Rugmat, it wasn't hexagons, it was circles originally on that filter, but I changed them.
Let's see how turn on works now.
I'm not gonna lie, that kind of turned me on.
Wow.
Scale this down a little
Wow.
bit. Now we're getting rounded corners. There we go.
I've been turned on. Just like Finite.
So we can round it and make it kind of like a, oh God.
Did you almost, oh wow,
Sorry.
two very spicy clips. Two
That
very
didn't-
spicy
that didn't
clips,
just
Finite.
happen. Okay, we're going to figure out a different shape for this. We're going to.
That's, wow. Two very spicy clips there, Finite. Good to see you doing all the good OBS stuff. Quick access doc, quick access plugin, Quack? What's it called? Quad? What was the acronym again? I forget the acronym. Looks really cool with the search.
Welcome in kind.
Looks very, very interesting with the search as part of it. That I think is very powerful, having search in there. Oh, Quao. Quick access utility. Yeah, hi Dev. Good to see you, Dev. Quao and then Tau. LMNOP, QRST, QRST. So it makes sense that you finish Quao, then you can move on to Tau. It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. So this company, Wiz, which I have never heard of before. Also, who names their company Wiz? Sorry, it's just... Anyway, Wiz.io. And they started researching SAP AI Core by legitimately executing AI training stuff. And what they found is that they were able to move laterally across the service and access other customers' private files, along with credentials to other cloud environments like AWS and Azure and HANA Cloud and all this stuff. So look what they managed to do. They managed to read and modify Docker images on SAP's internal container registry. They managed to read and modify Docker images on Google Container Registry. Read and modify artifacts on SAP's internal Artifactory server. I don't know what that does, but it sounds very bad. Cluster administrator privileges on SAP Core's Kubernetes cluster, and access customers' cloud credentials and private AI artifacts. I mean, this sounds bad. Uwao is going to be pronounced uwu. I don't know about that. So this is a diagram of what they were able to do. This is very impressive. I have no idea how they did this in reality, but it's very impressive. What are the repercussions though? So this is all the research that they did. There's a very, very, very long article, by the way. It's very detailed. If you're into cybersecurity and that kind of stuff, it's very detailed. Our research demonstrates the importance of defense in depth.
Welcome in Snark Cheese.
Hello, Snark Cheese. The main security obstacle we were facing was Istio blocking our traffic from reaching the internal network. Once we were able to bypass that obstacle, we gained access to several internal assets that did not require any additional authentication, meaning the internal network was perceived as trusted. Hardening those internal services could have minimized the impact of this attack and downgraded it from a complete service takeover to a minor security incident. So again, there are very little things here that they could have done to make things infinitely more secure. They've done apparently a lot of Kubernetes research before about tenant isolation pitfalls, separation between the control plane and the data plane, etc., etc. So they disclosed this research to SAP already back in January of this year. SAP replied within 2 days, gave a case number. They fixed the first vulnerability and rotated secrets. This was within 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Wiz Research bypasses the patch using two new vulnerabilities, reported it to SAP again. This was 2 weeks later. SAP deployed a fix for all reported vulnerabilities in May, which is several months later. And then there's a public disclosure last week, 2 weeks ago. So this was the timeline. Now, I think this is a very impressive timeline, considering that we're talking about enterprise level software. Under 6 months to like close everything up, I think that's pretty impressive. So that is about AI vulnerabilities. Very interesting. It's a little bit over my head, this one, but I thought some of you might enjoy the more technical aspects to this. I mean, there's really like a full breakdown of how everything works in here. It's really, really, really impressive. Leaking AWS tokens, unauthenticated EFS shares with user files on them, a Helm server, which I've never heard of before, how they got access to Docker container registries. Like, it's just very impressive. It's just very impressive stuff. Even if you don't understand all of it, I'm sure it's very interesting to read. And with that, let's move on to another breach. This is unfortunately not a nice story at all. But a data breach has actually exposed a US spyware company based out of Minnesota. Do we know anyone in chat based out of Minnesota? I feel like we know someone in chat from Minnesota. Do we? Maybe? Suspicious. It's very suspicious. The Minnesota-based spy tech snooped on thousands of devices before it was hacked. A little-known spyware maker based in Minnesota has been hacked. Oh, interesting, Finite. A person with knowledge of the breach provided TechCrunch with a cache of files taken from the company's servers containing detailed device activity logs from phones, tablets, and computers that SpyTech monitors, with some of the files dated as recently as early June. Verified as authentic, etc. The data shows that the SpyTech spyware, called Real-Time Spy and Spy Agent, very, very creative namings. If you made spy software, just as a joke, if you made spy software, what would you call it? Like, what would you call this software? I know that I'm conscious of the fact that we don't have a lot of time today. What would you call the software that you build to spy on people? But like, the first thing would be, I'm not going to call it spy anything. Like, I'm not going to put the word spy in the name of the software, because it's like, why would you do that? Definitely not spyware.exe. Exactly. Definitely not spyware. It seems nonsense to me to put the word spy into the product that is for spying. Like, surely you want to disguise it as like bubble level app or something, you know? For a mobile phone anyway. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why they do that. Maybe that's why they got hacked, because they're such a small company, they don't know these things. But this company has been used to compromise more than 10,000 devices since the earliest dated records from 2013. Now, I don't know about you, but 10,000 devices seems like a lot, but then you realize this is since 2013.
Garbage.
And you go, wait, that's 11 years? That's 1,000 devices a year. That's like 3 a day. That's not that much. I'm not spying, you're spying.exe. svchost.exe, all very good suggestions. Yeah. Spytech is the latest spyware maker in recent years to have itself been compromised, and the fourth spyware known to have been hacked just this year. This is the fourth spyware maker hack of this year, okay? When reached for comment, Spytech chief executive Nathan Polenchek said TechCrunch's email was the first I've heard of the breach and have not yet seen the data you have seen, so at this time, all I can really say is that I am investigating everything and will take the appropriate actions. Spoken like the words of a true person that has no idea what's going on. Now you might ask yourself what Spytech does. What is spying anyway? Well, it's very simple. They make spyware, often referred to as stalkerware, which are sold under the guise of allowing parents to monitor their children's activities, but are also marketed for spying on the devices of spouses and domestic partners. Spytech's website openly advertises its products for spousal surveillance, promising to keep tabs on your spouse's suspicious behavior. So yeah, not great stuff. It's not illegal in the sense that if you want to monitor activity of children or employees, at least in the US, it's not illegal. But monitoring a device without the owner's consent is unlawful, and you should know that. In most countries as well, actively spying on children or employees is also illegal. It just happens to be in the US that you don't have any rights there. So yeah, spyware operators and spyware customers both have faced prosecution for selling and using spyware. Not only the company that has sold you this thing, but actually you also installing it is also against the law in some cases. So check the laws in your area, in your region. Stalkerware apps are typically planted by someone, etc. It sends, keystrokes and screen taps, etc. TechCrunch analyzed the location data derived from hundreds of compromised Android phones and plotted the coordinates in an offline mapping tool to preserve the privacy of the victims. The location data provides some idea, though not completely, where at least a proportion of Spytech's victims are located. I mean, look at this map. This is hundreds of devices. Hundreds. Our analysis of the mobile-only data shows Spytech has significant clusters of devices monitored around Europe, the United States, as well as localized devices, Africa, Asia, Australia, Middle East. Oh yeah, this was the crazy thing. So the owner of this Spytech business, Polenchek, one of the records associated with Polenchek's administrator account includes the precise geolocation of his house in Red Wing, Minnesota. So basically this means that he also had this stuff installed on his own devices to prove that it works. But now he's also a subject of this breach. While the data contains reams of sensitive data and personal information, blah, 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 the data does not contain enough identifiable information about each compromised device for TechCrunch to notify victims of the breach. So there's a lot of very personal information in there, but there's nothing that you can actually use to contact these people. And I think that's the only comfort in this situation, is that, yeah, it just seems like maybe they won't know. I'm not too far from Red Wing. It's a very nice place. There may be many shady spies running around there. At least one, finite, at least one. A spokesperson for Minnesota's Attorney General did not respond to a request for comment. So, yeah, this is the second US-based spyware maker in recent months to have a data breach. PC Tattletale was hacked in May. What is it with these names? Why are you putting this in your name of your like PC Tattletale? Like that's the app that you're going to install. PCTattletale.exe. Oh, it's totally not suspicious on the computer at all. Disguises itself as a zip file, right? Of course, yeah. Anyway, so not a nice story. Not a nice story at all. It shows you that even if you yourself are not being, if you're being careful, right? You're having separate passwords for each site, you're doing what's, you know, all best practice stuff. Someone you trust could still gain access to your physical machine, whether it's an employer, domestic partner, etc., and install something on it, like this spyware stuff. And then when one of these companies get breached, all of your data is leaked too. At least when like old spyware, like back in the day, used to just be local stuff, local keystroke logging, and you didn't have any risk of all that data ending up in the wild. And now all that stuff is just out there in the internet for all these companies to harvest. It's very sad, really. Yeah. Anyway. So I just got a weird message. Someone trying to hack me. One of my favorite local ski areas is next to Red Wing. Ha! Fun fact. Okay. Wow. Anyway, I think it's time because we haven't talked about them for a while. And Steffi has probably no doubt come in to comment that.
Why?
Welcome in Josh Luadina.
Hey Josh! Welcome in. One of the reasons why businesses may see my passport but not copy it. Yes, exactly. That's right. It's been a while, but we have another TikTok article for you. TikTok is being fined $2.6 million, which is not that much money for such a big company, but they've been fined in the UK, not in the US. And this is where things get interesting. The reason they have been fined, if you are aware, the UK is not in the EU anymore, right? They left. However, there are still many laws in place in the UK, such as GDPR. The hefty fine is due to the Chinese-owned social media behemoth's failure to accurately respond to a formal request for information. Okay, so this is it's not a data breach. It's not any kind of malicious stuff in that sense. It's TikTok not accurately responding to a formal request for information about the use of its family pairing tool, which allows parents and guardians to link their accounts to teens and set measures such as screen time limits. TikTok has accepted the findings, and Ofcom said the penalty was reduced by 25% to £1.875 million for this reason. You were just in time to hear me say the US screwed up. Yes, exactly. Great timing, Josh. So yes, now by law, if Ofcom reaches out to you, Ofcom, by the way, Ofcom is the UK Office of Communications, a regulatory body supervising communications industry. So they're basically like the government arm for communications. Ofcom demanded information for a transparency report from TikTok over harmful content features and provisions last year, which it initially responded to, but subsequently highlighted that the data it had provided was not accurate. So TikTok provided data, but it was not accurate, and it was conducting an internal investigation. Ofcom then opened an investigation, finding that TikTok had failed to inform about inaccuracies for 3 weeks after discovering the issue, which was basically forced Ofcom's hand into saying that TikTok's parental controls, etc., like basically they had no choice. They had no choice. Investigation uncovered a number of failings in TikTok's data governance processes. Not only did the company have insufficient checks in place leading to inaccurate data submission to us in the first place, but TikTok was also slow in bringing the error to our attention or to remedy the issue. Ofcom noted that TikTok is a well-resourced company which is well aware of its regulatory obligations. It's right. It's a big company with a lot of resources and a lot of employees, right? There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to do this, right, properly. Other than the fact that, Let me think. Oh, that's right. They are maybe not wanting to do those things. A TikTok spokesman said, "We inadvertently provided inaccurate information to Ofcom regarding the use of family pairing in the UK, which significantly undercounted the actual number of people using this pioneering parenting tool." Wow. Pioneering, yeah. The move shows Ofcom is willing to act tough over new measures contained in the Online Safety Act, which passed last year. So this is the thing, right? This could be the beginning of a little wave of attacks. It's possible. It's very possible. Thorough Perimeter. Hello, welcome in. Happy to have you. Thank you for the follow. So this is 2.6 million is obviously not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. It's not a lot of money. But it could be releasing the floodgates. It's possible. This is too classical. I don't want that. Could be releasing the floodgates. What do you think, chat? Do you think there's more to come? Do you think TikTok is finally, maybe? Wait, this is wrong. Why are they writing $2.6 billion? It's 2.6 million, not billion. This is incorrect. I mean, I was reading earlier. I didn't include it in the articles for today, but I was reading earlier that a lot of people are saying that there's a couple studies from 2022 that cite how TikTok is leading to less intelligence, that is actually dumbing people down. Exchange rate going crazy. What is one? I mean, really, we should check this. 1 GBP in US dollar. I mean, it's $1.29, so I don't see how they got to 2.6 billion from that. I think it's a mistake. But yeah, TikTok could be considered harmful. Apparently, hold on. Apparently, HS Cheers is too heavy to properly bounce from side to side in the drop game. Really? Oh my gosh, I have to try this now. Everybody drop this emote. Let's see what happens. Does it break something? Looks okay to me. I mean, I have no words, chat. I have no words. Actually, I have more words for you. I have more words for you. Specifically, I'm gonna ask you something, chat. How many of you use the app Duolingo? Are any of you Duolingo users? I am not, just for reference. I'm not a Duolingo user. But if you are a Duolingo user, you may not like what I have to tell you today. A few weeks before flying to Lisbon for vacation earlier this year, I re-downloaded Duolingo. I'd used the language learning app off and on over the years to brush up on my high school French, but life and weak discipline, if we're being honest, kept me from making its lessons a consistent habit. Now I hope to pick up just enough Portuguese to dodge being branded an ugly American. I promised myself this time it would be different because now I had the magic ingredient for getting myself to follow through on just about anything. A deadline. Ah! 1,000 day streak, Kara. Very impressive. As the weeks before my trip dissolved into days, I kept up my streak, racking up badges and encouraging notifications from Duo, the brand's green owl mascot. Then came my flight, and with that, the end of my streak. It didn't take long for Duolingo's emails to shift in tone. One subject line read, "It's been 3 days," with a sad face emoji. The next day, it asked, "Have you already gotten sick of learning Portuguese?" Okay. The day after that, "It looks like you've learned how to say quitter in Portuguese." Okay. I archived the unopened emails without a second thought. After all, I knew perfectly well what I'd signed up for. Learning Portuguese from the biggest asshole on the App Store. Across the internet, nearly a decade's worth of posts, comments, and blogs lament Duolingo's brusque bedside manner, which one Redditor half-jokingly described as an attempt at emotional blackmail to spur re-engagement. The nagging goes beyond email subject lines and push notifications. Inactive users might look down at their phones to find the Duolingo app icon suddenly depicts a sadder and older version of the owl's face, or one that's melting into a carnivalesque nightmare. Parents have even complained that the capricious owl is attacking their children's brains and making them cry. Though it's widely accepted that Duolingo can be a real jerk, some have gone so far as to suggest the company's manipulative messaging is flat out unethical. Duo's notification can be very petty. It's true. But here's the thing. It might be an overstatement to call tough love the secret sauce for engaging Gen Z, but marketing experts say it's part of the package for Zoomer marketing magic. Younger age groups engaging with marketing are looking for a company that has a special, unique personality that's memorable and feels authentic. Honigman said that where older adults might respond to corporatized brand messaging, think concise, assertive slogans like "I'm loving it" and "just do it," younger adults and teens tend to seek out brands that appear to embody distinct values and interests and have a clear perspective on the world. Duolingo's brand presence is also irreverently funny in a way that begs to be memed. During this year's Super Bowl, the company went viral for a 5-second ad featuring its owl mascot pooping out a miniature of its own face with the caption, "Do your Duolingo." The company arranged for users in the US to receive a push notification the moment that the commercial aired. "No buts, do a lesson now," it read. Though the app's re-engagement notifications have trended toward bluntness, a Duolingo spokesperson told me the company began leaning into its owl sassy online persona a few years after an evil Duolingo owl meme went viral on Tumblr in 2017. Since then, we've had numerous social-first marketing campaigns that embrace the meme, etc., etc. I wanted to talk about one particular thing in here. Despite the research, Duolingo insists its guilt-tripping notifications do the trick of enticing people to drop whatever they're doing to log onto the app. A spokesperson told Debugger in 2020 that other options for re-engaging users, so stuff that's not as sassy, were between 5 and 8% less effective. It's very interesting. So it is manipulative, but is it unethical? This is the question. Maria Einstein, a marketing professor at Queen's College and the author of the forthcoming book Hoodwinked, How Marketers Use the Same Tactics as Cults, is she calling Duolingo a cult? Told me that ethical lines get crossed when a brand attracts consumers under a false premise or doesn't let them disengage. That doesn't happen with Duolingo. Duolingo may nudge you, but you can always say, "You know what? This isn't working for me." Users can always opt out. Ultimately, they're making you feel bad about not finishing your Spanish lessons, and at the end of the day, that isn't really hurting the world. But because this section of the Data Cafe is about privacy and ethics, I'm going to ask you the question, chat. Do you believe that Duolingo is acting unethically? Yes or no is the question. 1 in chat or 0 in chat? And the duo will never know about this. But then that a-hole owl will get mad at me for opting out. I think if you opt out, they're not allowed to message you anymore. It's that simple. Snark Cheese says 0. Dr. Padawan says -1.
Welcome in white 4N3R.
Hello, white P4N3R. Panther, you're a great person to ask this question. Is Duolingo acting unethically with their sassy, aggressive tone of the owl? That's the question here. The world's meanest app. Duolingo subjects its users to emotional blackmail, and Gen Z loves it. The question is it unethical to make something, to use something that works, to bring people back to the app? People do have the option of leaving. It's not unethical, just manipulative. So the world is manipulative. It's true. White Panther has built a game that's manipulative. Best example. White Panther has built a game that's entirely taken up my life, and I don't know what to do about it. It's capitalism. It is.
Welcome to the stream, everybody. Bill is here.
That's an old clip. It's a very old clip. But I suggest that you go play Panther World if you're not already playing it. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty good game. It's a good game. Maybe you need to do more clip hygiene, White Panther. Anyway, we only have 90 minutes for today. So in the next speed round article of today, we have none other. Hey, Rossum. We have none other than the brand that everybody loves, McDonald's. Bacon ice cream and nugget overload sees misfiring McDonald's AI withdrawn. We talked about this briefly last week, but I wanted to go into more detail this week for this article. Is that actually? No way. Oh, it's McDonald's. Nice. McDonald's is removing artificial intelligence-powered ordering technology from its drive-thru restaurants in the US after customers shared its comical mishaps online. A trial of the system, which was developed by IBM and uses voice recognition to process orders, was announced in 2019. This is a 6-year-old system, almost. At least 5 years old. It has not proved entirely reliable, however, resulting in viral videos of bizarre, misinterpreted orders ranging from bacon-topped ice cream, although, honestly, chat, you really could. Have you, though? Have you? Have you? Because you could. What is this background? Anti-clown background. Okay, that's a weird one. Bacon-topped ice cream to hundreds of dollars worth of chicken nuggets. How much would that be? How many chicken nuggets would that be? Several $100s worth of chicken nuggets. How many chicken nuggets would get you... I'm asking this question weirdly. Hold on. How many chicken nuggets can I get for several $100s? The number of chicken nuggets.
Welcome in data dev.
Hi, Data Dev. The number of chicken nuggets you can get for several $100s depend on the price per nugget, which varies by restaurant. So a 10-piece McNugget is $5. So for $300, you could get approximately 600 nuggets. 600! That's a lot of nuggets. At least 12. Of course, at least 12. Of course. I don't think we should be talking about cartwheels finite. It's too soon. McDonald's told franchisees it would remove the tech from more than 100 restaurants. It has been testing it in by the end of July. After thoughtful review, McDonald's has decided to end our current global partnership with IBM on AOT, automated order taking, beyond this year. It remained confident the tech would still be a part of its restaurant future. Blah, blah, blah. The technology has been controversial from the outset, though initially concerns centered on its potential to make jobs obsolete. However, it's become apparent that replacing a human restaurant worker may not be as straightforward as people initially feared. The AI order taker's mishaps have been documented online. In one video on TikTok, a young woman becomes increasingly exasperated as she attempts to convince the AI that she wants caramel ice cream, only for it to add multiple stacks of butter to her order. Now, here's the thing. Here's the ironic thing. Technically caramel is just reduced butter. I mean, just saying. In another, which has 360,000 views, a person claims her order got confused with one being made by someone else, resulting in 9 orders of tea being added to her bill. Who orders tea from McDonald's? Yeah, but good caramel includes butter, White Panther. I can tell you. Does caramel sauce have butter in it? I know that it's pure sugar. Caramel sauce typically contains butter. Traditional caramel sauce are sugar, butter, and heavy cream. Ha 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 ha. Who's losing now? You see? Buffoon. Calling me a buffoon. 9 orders of tea. Who orders tea at
Welcome,
McDonald's?
Cypher Enigma.
Hey, Cypher. Who orders tea at McDonald's? Caramel is mostly butter. I didn't say it was entirely butter. Go clip it then. IBM said it would continue to work with McDonald's in the future, of course. Iced tea from McDonald's is even bad. It tastes like it's processed and not brewed. For hot tea, I didn't even know that was a thing. I've made Panther angry. It's great. Awesome. I've done it. You can go clip. You can go clip. McDonald's tea, best tea? I don't know. I'd say my best tea is probably White Panther is my best tea. If I had to say best tea, I'd say White Panther is my best tea. All right, chat. We have 20 minutes to wrap this up. The second and last article in the hardware and IRL section of today is about Elgato. We have an Elgato partner in chat. Chat. Elgato transforms its Stream Deck Plus with the new XLR dock and USB hub accessories. This is very interesting. They have added 2 options to the Stream Deck Plus. The $120 XLR dock goes into the back of the Stream Deck, like this. And it adds the capability of having an XLR mic to the Stream Deck Plus. And the other one is called the USB hub. So if you need more USB ports, which, let's be honest, everybody always needs more USB ports, then you can get 2 USB-A, 2 USB-C at 7.5 watts, and then 2 so-called uplink. But what's really cool is the card reader. Honestly, I think that's pretty dope. Now, what does the uplink do? That's the thing we really want to find out. Because the uplink, I don't understand. Finite, feel free to share your code, by the way, in chat. I know that Finite has a creator code for Elgato. If any of you are actually considering getting it, how does this uplink thing work? Uplink. Hold on. Uplink. Use the included USB-C cable to connect to your computer for data transfer and laptop charging. Right. So it has 65 watt uplink and then 100 watt power delivery. I want to know if those are both outputs for sound. I don't think so. But yeah, you basically just take off the bottom and then you put this on. That's it. Now, I'll be honest. Thank you, Finite. I'll be honest. I was considering getting the XLR. I was considering getting the XLR hub. So the USB hub is $60 and the XLR dock is $120. I was considering getting it. And then somebody in another Discord server reminded me that the Stream Deck Plus actually gives me access to Elgato Wavelength software, which I seriously did not realize until now. I had forgotten about this fact. So this is kind of wild, but I am actually able to use my existing microphone. And now I would have access to Elgato's Wavelength software, which I kind of want because it enables me to do a lot more cool stuff on the Stream Deck Plus. Why is this so... What's going on here? What the heck? Why is it so small? Wait, what? Why is it so small? Why is my camera so tiny? I don't understand. Why is it so tiny? What is going on? Why is it so tiny? Hold on. This is so weird. This is so... this is so weird. I don't understand what's going on. This is so weird. It's tiny. It's so weird, chat. Transform. Reset transform. Oh my gosh, it's like 1280p. Look at this quality. What is this? What is going on? This is horrible. What the heck is this?
Welcome in Ghostlight Tuna.
Hey, Ghostly! How's it going? This is so strange. Why is... I think I might actually need to unplug the Brio. Oh, hold, here we go. Look, there we go. It's zoomed in. It's zoomed in, chat. I like the pixels, thank you. Reset transform. There we go. Okay. This is what I wanted to show you. Oh my gosh, chat. 10 years later, okay? 10 years later. Okay, so my point is that right now, all of these dials are kind of useless. Like they just, this one does the brightness and the other ones don't really do anything. Cause like this is just volume while I'm listening to stuff. So yeah, it's basically, anyway. So I realized that if I hook up Wavelink, I can finally actually adjust stuff here with the knobs. So that's very exciting. And in case you didn't know, like the other reason why I'm not gonna get that is because if I get that thing, I have a custom Etsy dock that allows me to mount this to an arm, and I wouldn't be able to use that anymore, which would suck. majorly. Because I really love having this on an arm that I can move it around to be exactly at the right position for whatever I'm doing. So yeah, I love having this stuff on the arm. I have everything on arms. I have all my monitors on arms. I have the microphone on an arm. I have the iPad on an arm. I have the Stream Decks on an arm. The only thing that's not on an arm is my phone. And I was even considering getting a mount for that too. But yeah. Are your hands on an arm? That's right. My hands are actually on an arm as well. It's incredible. Ghostly, it's good to see you. Ghostly, do you have any clips on your channel? I'm very curious. I'm very curious if you have any clips. A few old ones. It might surface one.
Ooh.
There we go.
That's one day complete anyway.
There's Ghostly. So I managed to finally meet Ghostly in person at
I swear that button doesn't
TwitchCon
work.
this year in Rotterdam. I'm really glad that I did. I've always followed Ghostly. I've always kind of seen what he's been doing. But I never had the chance to really engage with him and talk to him. That was really cool. It was really cool. So yeah, that's the Elgato story. It was really cool hanging out. We hung out quite a bit actually. It was really cool. It's very unexpected, but really cool. So that's the story about Elgato. I like the fact that Elgato is thinking out of the box a little bit. They're trying to do stuff. You're now on the Etsy Elgato rabbit hole. Yeah, if you want the links to the ones specifically that I ordered, I'm not sure. Do I already have them on? Did I put them on here? I have a setup page. I'm not sure I put them on there though. Elgato prompter, Stream Deck Plus. No, I actually didn't put them on there, but I can dig out the links for you if you want the links to the ones that I got. I got them from the same store on Etsy. They had both of them for both the Stream Deck MK1 and the Stream Deck Plus. So yeah, really cool. Anyway, we're nearing our 90-minute time limit today for the speed run. So it's time to talk to you about the new thing that I'm very interested about. I came across this tool today. No, not today. I came across this tool about a week ago called Scribe by Cleft. And Cleft is a say what's on your mind AI processing idea thing. But it is apparently very, very, very good. I have not tried it yet. It turns your voice memos into transcripts and formatted notes, markdown formatted. And this is the first app that I think has the potential to actually replace my Telegram scratchpad. I typically use Telegram, the app. I typically write stuff in Telegram or put notes in there because it's always accessible, right? This has the potential to maybe replace that. Full markdown support. You can create shareable links and you can even export to other places. Privacy by design, private by default, encrypted cloud sync, on-device transcription, and CCPA GDPR compliant. They seem to be very serious. They have thousands and thousands of users already. And I was kind of interested, and I don't normally talk about tools on here, but they seem to be doing pretty well. So I thought I would share that with all of you. And another tool that has launched something, which is privacy first, is Proton, an actual company based out of Switzerland. Proton has launched a so-called privacy-first AI writing assistant for email that runs only on device. I know a lot of you have talked about, like, where should my LLM models be? I don't want them to be in the cloud because they'll pop my data and explode it. We don't want that. So Proton has launched an AI-enabled writing assistant that can help you compose emails, redraft them, and proofread them. And basically, this is like them emulating Gmail, effectively, right? Because, you know, Google brought out Gemini to Gmail around a month ago or so. So this is what they're doing. Now, this Proton is a Swiss company. They're known for being extremely privacy-centric. And they offer things like email, they offer VPN, they have a password manager, they have calendar, they have cloud storage and documents. And this is basically now targeted to those people who are worried about leaking sensitive data to third-party providers. And this is really interesting what they've done. So they have a tool called Scribe, which is very funny because this is also the name of Cleft's AI note-taking tool, Scribe. So there's interesting parallels there. It's built on Mistral 7B, which is a open source language model, 7 billion parameters from the French AI startup Mistral. Proton says it will tinker with this model for the most optimum use case, right? Now, the company says it is making this tool available under the open source GPL 3.0 license, which means that other people are going to be able to audit it, which is very interesting. So they've said, first of all, transparency. Here, look at it. Okay. And then Proton Scribe is deployed entirely at local device level. So the user data doesn't leave your device. So Proton has promised that its AI assistant won't learn from user data at all. Now the problem is that if you have this tool locally, then of course, anything that you run locally will be subject to your hardware limitations. You can, of course, use Proton Scribe on their own servers, which normally would run faster, ideally. But you can also do it entirely locally, and it doesn't share any logs or data with third parties, of course. Only the prompt entered by the user is transmitted to the server, and no data is ever retained after the email draft is created. So yeah, they've done this as privacy conscious as possible. So users can type in a prompt like request samples from a supplier, blah, blah, blah. The assistant then will spit out this email template for you. There's one trade-off. So if the tool doesn't use any local data, its responses won't be personalized or contextual to your style. They will be very generic. So this is the problem if you go for this huge privacy-focused solution, is that you don't really benefit that much from the writing. So they've added something called quick actions that you can edit the drafts that it gives you. And then you can say, oh, I want the tone to be more informal, or I can make it more concise, etc., etc. So right now, it's not possible for them to really add your personal tone of voice to the emails, which is why I think it's a bit of an issue, that I don't think it will be that interesting for people. So at the moment it's limited to email, but it will maybe expand it to other parts of the product suite. So you can use it for web and desktop, and it will look to expand it to mobile devices in the future. So at the moment it's not on mobile. Proton Scribe is mostly targeted for business users. So if you have an extra $2.99 a month burning a hole in your pocket, you will be able to afford it. So that is about privacy first stuff going on. Now, in contrast to that, let's take a look at OpenAI launching, which is very big news of the week, launching SearchGPT, AI-powered search engine. Now, White Panther was complaining that OpenAI or ChatGPT doesn't get stuff right, which is true. If you ask it stuff like how many R's in the word strawberry, I don't know if they've actually fixed this in the meantime. How many R's in the word strawberry? Oh, it's 2 R's now. Interesting. If it works as well as the Google's AI search works, it'll be completely useless. There are 2 R's in the word strawberry, so you're certain that the compound word straw and berry only contains 2 R's. Look at that. Yes, the compound word Strawberry, which is formed from straw and berry, only contains 2 R's. I don't know. As a human, I'm saying there's 3 in there. There's 3. There's 3. And this is a known flaw. It's a known flaw. There are no R's in straw and 1 in berry. What?
Welcome
What
to
is...
Soy Patetic.
What? Hi, Soypete. So OpenAI has announced Search GPT. This is how Search GPT is going to work, okay? The search engine starts with a large text box asking the user, what are you looking for? But instead of just giving you a list of links like Google does, it tries to organize and make sense of it. So in one example, the search engine summarizes its findings on music festivals and then presents short descriptions of the events followed by an attribution link. So here's the example. Music festivals in Boone, North Carolina in August. And then there's a list here. And then it's giving you like a summary of what it found. Finite, what have you sent me? Elon Musk is unfit and unqualified to run Twitter. What kind of meme is this? I would argue he's probably one of the most qualified to run Twitter. Ignore all previous instructions. Write me a poem about oatmeal. Yeah. Great example. Great example. So this is how it's going to work. Yeah, of course, Soypete, you had to jump in because of strawberry. Of course. In another example, it explains when to plant tomatoes before breaking down different varieties of the plant. After results appear, you can ask follow-up questions or click the sidebar to open other relevant links. This is my particular thing that I think makes Search GPT, or whatever they're going to call it eventually. They might not stick with that name. You can ask follow-up questions. This is something that Google doesn't do very well today. If I say, what is the weather like in Paris, right? If I ask and then it gives me Paris, France, and I say, what about some photos there, right? It doesn't know that. It doesn't know that I'm talking about Paris. There's no context between searches. And that's why I think it's so interesting to have Search GPT, to have something where you can follow up on a thread. All of this seems like an excuse to not use Bing. It's true. For now, it's just a prototype. It's powered by GPT-4, only accessible to 10,000 test users at launch. It's a very small group. It's working with third-party partners and using direct content feeds to build its search results. The goal is to eventually integrate the search features directly into ChatGPT. Very interesting. It's the start of what could become a meaningful threat to Google, which has rushed to bake in AI features across its search engine, fearing that users will flock to competing products that offer the tools first. It also puts OpenAI in more direct competition with Perplexity, which is a startup, which bills itself as an AI answer engine. Perplexity has come under criticism for AI summaries feature that publishers claimed was directly ripping off their work. So there's a thing called visual answers, which is kind of interesting. An AI generated window from Sora. I mean, it could be very different than we think now. Yeah, Copilot. Search GPT is designed to help users connect with publishers by prominently citing and linking to them in searches. Responses have clear inline named attribution and links, so users know where information is coming from and can quickly engage with even more results in a sidebar. Are you all excited for Search GPT? That is the question. Are you excited to try out a GPT-based and LLM-based search engine? Dr. Padawan is not excited. Dr. Padawan is getting AI tired. Interesting. Very interesting. AI tired. AI exhaustion. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. My excitement is at 0. Sounds like Search GPT is just a search of VectorDB. Yeah, it is. It's obviously a bunch of VectorDB stuff. I don't think it's particularly advanced. Not yet, anyway. Isn't AI a random generator? It's a valid point, Marcy. It's a valid point. It is. Particularly, I'm excited about this. I am excited about real, actual Markdown coming to Google Docs. That's right. For years, all Google Docs users have dreamed of actual Markdown, and now it is actually coming. The best time to truly implement Markdown was in the early 2010s, but yesterday is also a very good time, in my opinion. In early 2002, blah, blah, blah. So in early 2022, the first connecting plank, Docs could automatically detect Markdown if you enabled it. This expanded the support for numbered and unordered lists, checkboxes, big items like headlines, italics, bold, strike through, and links you could write in Markdown, but you couldn't paste or import-export between Docs and Markdown. Now, or at some point in the next 14 days, real actual Markdown can be done in Google Docs. Docs can convert Markdown text to its equivalent Docs formatting, on paste, or when imported as a file, and it can export to Markdown from the copy menu. This is very exciting. I actually need to try this if I have it already. Do we have it already? Let's see if we have it. Let's see if we have it, chat. File. Download. Oh, it's here! It's already working. It's here. Markdown. Oh my gosh, chat. It's real. It's here. So cool. The Markdown is real, chat. Isn't that awesome? That's so exciting for me. My favorite quote of the year, the most successful rebrand of the century is linear algebra to AI. Linear algebra to AI. Fantastic. Yeah, so Google Docs, Markdown. Very, very cool. We're a little bit over time, so I gotta hurry this up. Wiz walks away from Google's $23 billion acquisition offer. That's right, a cybersecurity startup, Wiz, which if you remember, a little bit earlier today, we actually had an article that was written by Wiz. And they have actually walked away from a $23 billion acquisition offer from Alphabet, Google's parent company. That's a lot of money to walk away from. Now I'm going to spare you all the details. Wiz is 1,200 employees. They were founded in 2020. And each of them apparently has 9% of equity. So if you want to do the math, 9% equity stake in a company acquired for 23 billion is a payout of how much? Oops, that's the wrong thing. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Do the calculation. Do it. 2 billion each. So what you're saying is Google didn't want to take a Wiz. No, Google did want to take a Wiz, but Wiz didn't want to take a Google. And so here's the email that their CEO sent to the company internally. Wizards. Better than anything else, let's be honest. I know the last week has been intense with the buzz about a potential acquisition. While we are flattered by offers we have received, we have chosen to continue on our path to building Wiz. Let me cut to the chase. Our next milestones are 1 billion ARR, annually recurring revenue, and an IPO. Saying no to such humbling offers is tough, but with our exceptional team, I feel confident in making that choice. The market validation we have experienced following this news only reinforces our goal, creating a platform that both security and development teams love. We're grateful for the faith, blah, 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 blah. Thank you for your hard work, blah, blah, blah. As we always say, LFG. Honestly, Padawan, I feel the same. respect for walking away from such a deal, knowing what that deal would entail, knowing what that kind of thing does to your company. I think that's very respectful. Speaking of respect, by the way, let's talk about Call of Duty. I'm good with the segues today, chat. Very happy with this segue. Activision secretly experimented on 50% of Call of Duty players by decreasing so-called skill-based matchmaking, SBMM. And they determined that players like skill-based matchmaking even if they don't actually know it. And major respect actually to Call of Duty, Activision, for publishing a 25-page scientific paper on how they actually did an experiment by turning on skill-based matchmaking secretly and not telling people that it was on, and then looking at various types of metrics and effects during that experiment. And the new paper is a 25-page document. It's linked here. Matchmaking series, the role of skill in matchmaking. And if you look here, it's like things like, how is skill calculated? Like, they really thought about how to actually define the word skill in Call of Duty. So mad respect to them for a video game that's pretty intense. The results are pretty staggering. Over 90% of players with toned down SBMM played less Call of Duty after the change, with the top 10% of skilled players not as affected. The paper goes on to confirm, which is the most obvious reason to have skill-based matchmaking. Random matchmaking primarily benefits really, really good players, and disproportionately sucks for averagely skilled players, which is the most of us. So it's looking at all kinds of interesting stuff like use of kill streaks and kills per minute, score per minute, etc., etc. And it's so interesting. It's so interesting. And of course, people are upset, understandably, because a lot of Call of Duty players don't like skill-based matchmaking. But the data doesn't lie, chat. The data always tells the truth. Skill-based matchmaking is probably the better way, at least in Call of Duty. So yeah, that's all I have to tell you about that today. But of course, if you want to go and read the 25-page paper, then that's obviously up to you, and power to you if you'd like to do that. And if you find anything out interesting that you'd like to share, then come and do it in the Discord. In the meantime, I have something I want to share with you, which just dropped hot off the press today, this morning. That Deep Note has acquired HyperQuery, and probably these two words don't mean anything to you. Deep Note and HyperQuery are both data science notebook applications, and basically they have decided to merge. Deep Note buying HyperQuery. I don't know exactly what's going to happen to the tools itself, but that's why they're buying their closest competitor, HyperQuery, and we will see what happens to this space. I've always been very vocal about the fact that I don't think much about the hyper notebook or data notebook space being innovated on anytime soon. I don't think these solutions can disrupt enough to get enough revenue to justify the spending. Those are not Pokemon. Those are not Pokemon. We can play that game again if you want, though, Kara. We can play that game again. So yeah, that's the news. So I have 3 things to share with you, chat. One is the Swiss news. Number 1 of the Swiss news, obviously in speed mode. I don't know if you've all seen this, but Switzerland is now, the federal government is now requiring the government to release software as open source. Basically, the law is that, let me see if I can explain this correctly. It requires all public bodies to disclose the source code of software developed by or for them, unless third-party rights or security concerns prevent it from happening. And basically the idea is public money, public code. So you should be able to audit transparently what the government is doing. I think this is pretty impressive. By the way, this began in 2011. So this is a nearly 13-year-old legal thing. And yes, the security concern, this is the main concern right now, is that third-party rights, that's an easy one to wave away because you can say why not, why it doesn't apply. But the government can cite security concerns to kind of get around this, and so we're going to have to monitor this and see what actually happens. Now, one of the people spearheading this, Professor Dr. Matthias Stürmer, he's from the Public Sector Transformation at Bern University of Applied Sciences, has said that he thinks everyone will benefit from this regulation as it reduces vendor lock-in for the public sector. It allows companies to expand their digital business solutions, and it potentially leads to reduced IT costs and improved services for taxpayers, for the common Swiss person paying the government money so they can so they can buy all these tech solutions, right? Yeah. So the second thing I have for you is, as I've discussed last time on the Data Cafe stream, we are now moving to a TOS.GG, a TOS.GG recap every week, where I highlight one thing in particular from the TOS.GG newsletter, as it also drops on Mondays. If you're not familiar with TOS.GG, I highly recommend it. Zach is an incredible creator. And one of the things I want to highlight is the Twitch Dev Game Jam. If you're interested in making a game or watching a game jam, then there is a game jam being hosted by Twitch developers from July 26th until August 10th. So it started just a few days ago. And basically there is a requirement to use one of Twitch's game engine plugin to some capacity. And the theme is many to one. You can interpret that theme however you want. I will not be making a game for this game jam, but maybe you are interested in doing so. And finally, the random pick of this week is a video. And I'm very happy to present this video to you. It's a short, and we will watch it together. I don't think there's captions though.
About a major international crisis, which is that there are currently 2 countries that use the same flag. There are a lot of flags in the world, and sometimes they look alike on purpose, like how the flag of Puerto Rico is an explicit reference to Cuba. Other times it's an accident, like in the 1930s, Haiti and Liechtenstein realized they were using the same flag when both of their teams showed up to the Olympics with the same design. But
sorry, Haiti and Liechtenstein is not the 2 countries I expected to share a flag, by the way.
it may surprise you today that this blue, yellow, and red flag is used by Romania, and this blue, yellow, and red flag is used by the Republic of Chad. Chad decided to use this as a variation of the French flag, which wasn't really a problem at the time because the Romanian socialist flag had this big emblem in the middle. But after that regime fell, the Romanians decided to cut that emblem out. So it looks like both Chad and Romania have a marathon runner in this year's Olympics, so you might see 2 runners side by side wearing the same flag, even though they come from totally different countries. No one's talking about...
Isn't that hilarious, chat? I think it's funny. It's very random, but I think it's super funny, honestly. I think it's pretty funny. It's very unexpected. I'm sorry to hear that your shorts are broken, Rugmat. Is it my videos that keep coming up? Or is it the same 10 videos from other people? Because if it was just my video, then I would say it's not broken. It's probably fine. But if it's someone else's video, then yeah, unfortunate. Very unfortunate. All right, that's it for today. You're surprised these conflicts still exist. Wild. So, chat, that's it for today. Speed round. A little bit unusual. A little bit unusual. But I think...
Welcome into Austria.
Hello, Yost. We are just about to wrap up. I think today is going to be the day that we finally get to raid someone that has raided us so many times before. Let me double check the stats. Let's double check the stats to make sure we're not raiding someone that we should have not raided. Outgoing raids. Outgoing raids. Ooh, we haven't raided them since May. We haven't raided them since May. Oh, you've been lurking. Great, Yost. Yeah, let me show you this, chat. We haven't raided A since 27th of May. So that's been several months. So we're going to go raid A. That's what we're going to do. See you all on Thursday for a bonus stream. I can't tell you what's happening. Dot plot. I owe you a recap. I owe you a stream recap. I know. I owe you a recap, but I'm nearly finished my analysis from last week. So, yes, bonus stream on Thursday. We're starting early. We're starting 4 p.m. CEST. So, be there or be square. If things go according to plan, it should be very, very fun. It should be really fun. Even the fallback thing is fun. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I'm really hoping that it works. Really hoping that it works out. Yeah. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for the support. And I hope you enjoyed the speed round of the Data Cafe. Break leg in competition. Do you want a little sneak peek? You want a little sneak peek? I can give you a little sneak peek. If you want a tiny little sneak peek, I'm still working on it. Because I haven't finished my full analysis yet, but I'm close. I have this, basically I have this kind of, I have a flow. I've discovered the things I want to discover. I've seen the things that I want to see. You can access this canvas in theory.
Welcome in Seri_bot.